Orlando,
Go
if
ahead,
you
Mike.
are if you are in Orlando,
Uh-huh.
the young DC and recipients here, are we just the only ones, or you other places too?
Well, I actually, when I started with this program, I was actually in DC. And I am usually what you would call a snowbird that would go back and forth to DC. So I just, wherever I am, I work from. Because
Okay.
I now teach virtual classes rather than in the classroom. So I'm basically, since COVID, this is what I've been teaching. So I can teach from anywhere.
Yeah, you work from home.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I do. Uh-huh.
Well, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else has a Sheila? Hi, Sheila. How are you? You're muted, Sheila. Go ahead and mute. Unmute.
Got it now?
Yep, I can hear you. Mhm.
Okay. I think from the last time I was here, you said they have three is it what they call it? Mandatory classes you gotta do?
Well, not three. I never said three. Six
Oh.
modules, mandatory
Oh,
modules.
6 modules. Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
I thought it was mandatory.
Well, there's 6 that are mandatory for you to keep the iPad. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, 6 modules.
Mhm.
Okay. So tomorrow you don't have any class tomorrow, right?
I sure do have class tomorrow. Today's not class today. Today's resource day. On Tuesdays, we bring in special speakers to help to talk to seniors about benefits that are available to them. That's
okay.
what we're doing on today. Always on Tuesdays, that's what we do.
Oh, okay.
And on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when we do technical. Those are the mandatory classes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Teresa, what happened to
Thank you.
Hold on, Patricia. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. Go ahead, Patricia.
What happened to travel on Tuesday?
Well, Lou, the director of the program, basically said this is what he would like to see happen, the resources rather than Travel Tuesdays. But I did tell him that I'm going to be committed to do at least one Tuesday a month of Travel Tuesday. So you can look for that at least once a month.
Oh, okay.
Because I know you all really enjoyed it. And I'm committed to doing so.
Okay.
Okay. Really, and so if there's a country that you want me to explore, please let me know and I'll plan and I'll do research on that country and then present it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Patricia.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And Martha is our special guest. I'm waiting for her to sign in. Let me see if she's in as yet. Martha, you there as yet? No, I don't think she's there yet. Hi, Jennifer. I see you signed in, Jennifer Blackman. Hope you're feeling good. Hi,
Teresa. How you doing?
Good. You feeling good today?
A little better, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's always good to have you on board.
Thank you.
Hi, Georgia. Good to see you.
How are you today?
Good, good. Good to see you. Georgia, you're feeling better too, right?
Glad to see you with us on Tuesday.
Yes. It's always good to see, throughout this program, what happens is seniors will get sick and you wouldn't hear from them for a while. So when you see them back and you know they're well. And you're always happy to see them back because you want them to be among the living, right? You want to see them well. So that's always our prayers to see you again.
Yes.
I see an iPad user, someone with the name iPad. Please, let's help you change your name. iPad user. Do you see your name as iPad? There you go. If your name is showing as iPad, we need to show you how to change your name so you could be getting credit for the course. We don't know who you are. So it's a lady with glasses. There you go.
Ms. Harrell.
Go ahead and speak. Go ahead and speak.
I'm not
iPad. iPad user.
Cause you just.
She just unmuted herself. iPad,
didn't.
you just muted yourself, unmute and speak with me.
That's not me. That's
No,
not
no,
me.
no, it's not you. There's another lady that has the name iPad.
He
I'm
make
gonna help her change her name.
You have
Can you,
pretty brown glasses and plaits.
Pardon me?
can you hear me?
Gertrude, yes, I can.
I want to know how many classes I've been in.
Well, Gertrude, can we not go there right now? Let me get everybody on board and situated, and then I can get to that. Okay? So I want to help this lady that's showing us iPad. Go ahead. The person with the name iPad,
I see Mary Harrell.
unless she's changed her name. Let's see if I can help her. You know, she has an iPad user. Your name is showing as iPad. Can I help you change your name?
Is it, my name is Mary Harrell.
No, no, you're not showing as iPad.
It just went off.
That's not you. I know who I'm talking. Are you there, iPad user? I think she's hearing me because she's now unmuted.
Yes.
You can hear me?
You just touched the screen.
Looking.
Look at
Her
this.
face is fairly new. So that means she must be new.
You like granola? I used to, I haven't had anything.
You have plaits and pretty brown glasses.
Oh, no, Mom, didn't you just wasting it? And you're not gonna want anything like you just ate. Okay, but anyway.
Miss
I don't-
Teresa,
Yes, Carolyn?
my name is Carolyn. Question about your Travel Tuesday. Do you have those recorded anywhere?
Yeah, I've got a few recorded, not all, but a few, with different countries that we visited. Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
So is there a way I can go back and see some of those?
They should be coming to you daily when I send out the invitations. There's the names that the ones we've recorded so far, but I could always go and look and see what I could find. What, is there a country you had in mind?
No, I was a travel professional. And
Ooh.
I I'm not no longer doing it, but
Mhm.
I still get emails and everything, but I would like to have more research, especially something that I can, look at from time to time.
Well, here's something, Carolyn. We offer 2 seniors, and that's on Tuesday. If you're willing to ever do one, we offer $50 stipend to anyone who wants to do a Travel Tuesday. Juliet did one. Juliet, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Teresa.
Yeah, tell Carolyn what you did in order. You introduced what, Paris?
Yes, I did.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Miss Underwood, you must have a lot of experience.
Not as much as I would love.
But did you do any travel?
That's the problem. I did all the work, but didn't do the travel.
oh,
I was taking care of my mom and then my health issue. So like I said, I did all the research, did it for everybody else, but I've traveled myself, but just personal.
Are you up to traveling now?
A little. I've got 2 bad knees now. So I've got to have 2 knee replacements that I've been putting off for the last 20 years.
Well, I think you should do it because they have so many ways that you can get around if you can maneuver your way with a scooter.
I've got an electric scooter and I've got a rollator.
Yeah, let's go then.
Sounds like a plan.
Juliet is always looking for a travel companion.
Now is the time to do the things that we always wanted to do because we make sacrifices for so many people along the way. If it's even one.
Yes, Miss Julia, I agree.
But she don't need, she can eat stuff like that.
That's what I'm doing now.
All right.
Hello. I hope that I'm somewhat
there she is. There she is. Hi, Martha.
Hi. If you can, I know
Yes,
I'm
I
logging
will
in
give you
two places.
co-host. I will go ahead and give you co-host. Martha, you coming on as MEM. So I'm looking,
I have
Martha,
two
there you
different
go.
logins, but
I'll make you a co-host.
perfect.
That way you can share your screen. I needed Microsoft 365 on this computer to display your slides, and I wasn't prepared for that, so I apologize, Martha.
Well, thank you all for bearing with me. My mother-in-law is in the hospital, so it's meant that we rearranged everything.
Oh
to
my
try
goodness.
and support her, which I would have no other way. So thank
He's
you
in our prayers.
for giving me grace and bearing with me.
Well, we're understanding. We know you're going to do your best. You did before. You had the highest count when you did it back in January. So
I tried to learn from that a little bit and to make sure we still have a conversation.
okay. So I'm going to give the floor to you now, Martha. I'm going to ask the seniors to make sure you stay muted so that Martha can do what she needs to do. And then if you have any questions, hold your questions for the end, okay? Okay, go ahead, Martha. It's all yours.
So this section we're going to fly through, and then when we get to the income section, we'll definitely take a lot of questions, and then we'll keep going, and we'll have a lot of time to talk to each other as well. So just a little bit about us as DC Hunger Solutions. We work to create a hunger-free community and improve the nutrition and health and economic security of all of the low-income district residents. We do that a couple of different ways. We maximize nutrition programs like SNAP and WIC, which a lot of grandparents don't know if they're taking care of their grandchildren and have custody, you could have WIC. And school meals programs. And then there's other programs as well that we support. And then we do a lot of advocacy because we recognize that the systems as they are still not adequate. And we work to change that. And then we do a lot of education, like today, where we're gonna all learn, hopefully, something more about SNAP. These statistics probably won't shock this audience. Hunger in DC is very high. 16.2 residents of DC live in poverty, and this was data that's captured before the pandemic. Almost 1 in 4 children live in poverty in DC, and 15% of our community struggles against serious hunger. And that's how many, over 30,000 children are in free or reduced lunch. Over here, this map is our grocery store report, and in red, that's showing the income levels. And so you'll see from this map that where the lowest incomes are correlates with the least amount of grocery stores. So this report is a little outdated. There was only 2 grocery stores in Ward 7 and 1 in Ward 8. More have since been broken ground, and 1 opened the Good Food Market in Ward 8 since this map was done. But we still have so much more room for growth of grocery stores. And then this is really why we're here today, is because just under 15% of DC seniors experience food insecurity, and that was before COVID, and that was before all these crazy prices of food. So we know that number is much higher, and that's something that we're very concerned about. These are the same kind of statistics, but about 150,000 DC residents are on SNAP each month. And there's my little captain. And so with your help today, we're going to make sure that seniors really are enrolled in the program. One of my favorite things is that for every dollar we spend on SNAP, $1.73 come back to the local economy. So this program really is a stimulus program, and it never gets treated that way. And this average allotment is like old numbers. right now for the pandemic, everyone is receiving a minimum of 250 per for a household of one. Okay. And then next slide. So this one is really important, especially for your audience. Determining who's in your household is important. So we consider a household anyone who buys and prepares food together. You don't necessarily have to be related. So for example, if you have a roommate and you buy and prepare food together and both of you don't have much income, it might be beneficial for you to apply together. If you're legally married, you don't have a choice. You have to include that person. And then if you have custody of children under 22, they must be included on your case as well. But you don't have to have you don't have to have a permanent mailing address. You can be homeless on the program. But other than that, if you do live in a house where there's a lot of different people, but you don't actually eat together, you can say, we live together, but we don't eat together, and you don't have to include them on your household. And then this is where I definitely welcome a lot of questions, and we'll have a table that will help us through this next section that makes it a little bit more clear. This honestly is really where the program is. This is really where the problems are. So in DC, because it's so expensive, they allow us to account 200% of the federal poverty guideline. And that's any income that you have. So for seniors, that's SSI, that's Social Security, that could be a pension, it could be veterans benefits, it could be most likely not, it could be any kind of consistent monthly income that you receive. And because most of this audience, I assume, is seniors, you can actually make a little bit more than the 200% of the federal poverty level. But the problem is that they still make you get down to the net income. And to get down to the net income, we only deduct a certain percentage of your rent. For people under 60, that's capped at just under $600. So if you had dependent care, like you had like a caregiver coming over to your house and you pay out of pocket, we could deduct that expense. If you have medical expenses that you pay out of pocket that's more than $35, we can deduct that expense as well. They don't care about like credit card bills. They don't care about extra costs of food. They do care about utilities. But there's very, very limited things that they take into consideration.
That's a way to make money, Frank.
So, what did you do, Ida? So now I'll let you guys take some time to really look at this chart. This is really where it kind of starts to break it down. So we mentioned a household of one earlier. You could make up to $2,148. Actually, you're seniors, so you could actually make a little bit more than that. But the problem is you have to only take into consideration those little deductions, and your income has to get under $1,074 a month. And what's crazy too is that it's not just about getting under the net income. They also have really ridiculous percentages about like, of your income, you should be able to spend 30% of it on food. So this is really where the problems are. They do not accurately count how expensive it is to live in DC, and how much money you actually need in order for you to be sufficient in DC. So this is really where the program is failing and not accurately representing the real cost of living. And that's part of why we have such high rates of hunger in DC. Does anyone have questions over this section? I know this is a really important one.
Yes, I have a question. Is it your income by yourself, or will they add you and your wife's income, or how does that work?
Great question. If you're legally married, then it is anyone's income. And so like, for example, I had mentioned children under 22. If they're included in your household and they make money, their income gets included too. So if you're legally married, that income, no matter what, is counted. But otherwise, then it depends on who you're including in your household. Does that make any sense?
Well, it does a bit, like, but say if I am the one that's receiving the assistance and she hasn't been added in any way, could I just use myself as, applying?
So you would have to apply as a couple since you're legally married. So you would actually be a household of two. Sorry. So
so that's in the record.
Yes. So since you're legally married, you'd have to be a household of two. So that would be 2,904 combined. And then once they take into consideration those deductions, you'd have to go down to 1,450, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's great. That's hard to believe that they would cancel you out just like that quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. I see Meryl, and I don't know.
I just wanted to ask, can you hear me? What is the deductions are considered from the gross income? Is that from the gross income? Like you
Good
had
question.
On the
yes.
chart.
So the deductions are set by the federal government, which is part of the problem. And so those deductions are automatic. So the deductions on this page, the 177 is just automatic. It automatically comes off of that gross income, and it's helping you get to that net income. So if you have rent expense, up to $600 is going to come out as a deduction. So for one person, anyway, we'll do a calculator. Let me see if I can pull up a calculator and walk you through that. Or actually after the call, we can do a calculator. The great news is that, where did that calculator one go? There it is. Here's our calculator. The great news is there's a calculator that does it for us, because without this calculator, I would be crying every day because I don't like math. So that's one of the things we can run with you individually, is go over your each individual situation and do a calculator, and it will let us know if we think it's worth your time applying. So we can definitely do that. So I don't know who's in the audience, but there's a bunch of different immigrant statuses that we can count to be on SNAP. So automatically, if you're a US citizen and your income qualifies, you can have the program. Also, if you have a green card, you have to have had it for 5 years in order for you to be able to get SNAP, to get food stamps. But if you are an undocumented parent, you can actually apply for your children who have documents. And then there's other statuses like an asylum seeker, a refugee, a victim of trafficking or domestic violence, or if you're getting specific disability status through immigration, you can count as well. So we can also talk separately at the end or set up an appointment if somebody has questions about their immigration status and how it connects. Under the Trump administration, if you did apply for SNAP, they're trying to make it hard for you to become a future citizen. But thank goodness President Biden got rid of that, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay. Any questions for this section? Go ahead. I see there's two hands raised. Whoever wants to jump in first, go ahead. I don't think I'm hearing any questions. Are there any questions? I got a little pop on the bottom.
Michael, Charles.
So how do you go about applying for it? For SNAP?
How do we know about child support? Was that the question?
No. How do you go about applying for SNAP?
We are going to go through that next.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Michael, and I was first talking about the page you had just left, and the stuff you had on it. Yes, that page. Now, my income is way lower than any of these, but yet every time I apply for them, they would tell me I could get $30 and $35, $40. And sometimes that's how much it costs me to get down there on an Uber ride or whatever. So so should I apply again and so they can tell me the same thing, or you saying that there's something different going on now?
So for that situation, we're going to start with a calculator and see what our calculator thinks. And we would be able to help you over the phone. So you don't have to go anywhere. If it thinks you qualify, we can do everything with you over the phone.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
So that's what we're discussing next, actually.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So the district in I think it was November, the district made a new application, and it can be found online. I'll show you guys some pictures in a little bit about that as well. And then I just mentioned the most important thing that we offer is that we offer you the ability to fill out an application over the phone. And you can do everything from the comfort of your home. And so we can do the calculator, and we can do, come on, Ida. We can do the calculator and we can do the application over the phone. And then also, if you're an app person, you can download the District Direct app. I'll show you the logo. And then there's still the old school paper application that you can turn into one of the service centers as well. And then I like to always make sure people know that you have a right to language access. That could be French, it could be Spanish, it could be any language that you speak. You do have, for Spanish and Amharic, they have to automatically translate everything for you. But if there's other languages, you have a right to interpretation as well. It's a right that they don't often recognize, though, so that's really important. So since this is an iPad program, I wanted to highlight to you that you can actually go onto our website and fill out your information, and you can fill out the reason that you're that you want to talk to us, and it will go straight to us, and then we'll be able to process that inquiry. So you don't even have to call. You could use your iPad and use our website. It's under the Apply for SNAP tab. You can fill out all your information and set up an appointment that way, if that's your preference. And so the other, oh, I see a hand.
Ethel, you have a question?
Yes, can she go back one slide so we can take a picture of that information? Yes. Thank you. We got it, thank you.
Yeah. So which do you want to drive the truck?
And then just a little bit more. So what happens next, right? So we do the application. It could take us 45 minutes, an hour. And then after we do the application, they require verification documents. That could be your ID, your proof of your Social Security income or your retirement income. It could be your immigration paperwork, or it could be your medical expenses. Those are the classic ones for seniors. Right now, thank goodness, interviews are not happening. But if they are, they're happening on the phone in the rare case that they are. And then you'll receive you're supposed to, that's the big supposed to, receive a denial or approval notice in the mail. And then a separate company sends you your EBT card, and that's supposed to come in the mail. But if it doesn't show up, you can go in person to the H Street office. I believe there's one other office, but I still don't know which one, that you can just show your ID and ask for a new EBT card. And then this is important, and they do not follow this right now, which has been a real big problem. If you have absolutely no income, there's 1 week, not 7 business days, it's 7 days for them to process your food stamps application. And otherwise, they have up to 30 days to process your application. They are not doing that right now, and we are making sure to complain, because by law, this is what it's supposed to happen. So if that does happen, we can help out with that as well. I see somebody else raise their hand.
Ms. Jolie, you have a question?
I most certainly do. Good afternoon, family. How's everyone?
Good.
My question is this. If you have been denied from food stamps, from EBT, and you're disabled, which I believe there's a clause in there that says because you're disabled, you should be able to qualify for something, even if it's $20. How do you go to find out that information? What are the exemptions for the program?
There are a couple of thoughts that come to mind. There's
we thought, okay. You're much
there's
better.
There's a couple of thoughts that come to mind. There's a disability lawyer that specializes in seniors, and she definitely comes to mind as somebody to be your advocate. But there's also a process called a fair hearing. So if you think they made a bad decision, there's also a separate process called a fair hearing. It's actually a court process, but it's if you think something is wrong, it's basically an independent group of people that can look through your case, and they'll be impartial. They'll hear what you have to say. They'll hear what the food stamps office has to say. Most of the time, just even threatening that makes them re-review everything. But also, we have an ability to advocate on your behalf with your permission. You'd give us permission to ask questions on your behalf, and we'll be able to ask those same questions and be like, this happened. Like, can you tell me more why this happened? we don't think this is right. They're on disability. They still got a denial. Can you triple check that? Doesn't seem like it makes sense. So that's another thing we can do.
And your information, it was in chat. I looked, I didn't see it there. I got on a little late because I'm coming from a doctor's appointment.
Yes, I'll make sure to go back to that contact information page in a second.
And one other thing, Martha, what if you mentioned about the disability lawyer? I don't know about other folks, but a lot of us are not in the position where we have disposable income.
Oh, no, this is free. It's a free advocate. I've only, one of the great things is we're advocating for a bill for seniors to make it easier for seniors to apply and to make all these services easier for seniors to access. It's called the No Senior Hungry bill. And I met this attorney on that conversation she was advocating specifically around this issue around disability. And so that's how I found out.
Well, oh, don't do that, little one. I'm just trying to get some information from mom. Don't do that. I really appreciate that. And Martha, I'll look for that information. And also the disability lawyer and the fair hearing, because I'm sure there's some documentation somewhere, but I have not been able to locate it except by hearing from other folks saying, well, look, you have a disability. They should at least give you something. They shouldn't totally cut you off. And I was like, okay, because that's the other thing too. The poverty standard is $900, and that hasn't changed since the 60s. There's no way in the world that they can keep up with the cost of living from the 60s to now. And I know that may not be something you can deal with, but that is something that definitely needs to look at. Because in my situation, I'm a few dollars over, and I'm a few dollars over. That doesn't mean I'm a rich man. That means I'm still struggling. And with the disability.
I hear you.
The problem. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. We don't accurately count poverty, and all of us have to be advocates about making sure that that changes because it's unacceptable. And we can also talk about advocacy in a second.
I'll be looking forward to that. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so this is kind of what we're talking about already, but we also help people who are already on SNAP and resolve those issues. So one of the biggest problems is they require recertifications and mid-certifications. And a lot of, especially seniors, fall off of benefits because they don't get the paperwork, they don't get it into the office. And it's really a really difficult process. But over the phone, once again, we can take care of those recertifications and mid-certifications with you so you don't have to leave your home. And then we already kind of discussed this, but if you have any kind of problems, like your application was lost or you got denied or you didn't hear anything or something randomly changed, we can also send a CSI, which is a case status inquiry, with your permission to try and get answers. And then once again, these are all the different things and other things we can always try and help you out with as well. But here's our phone number and our email, and you can also use our website as well. And then even though I really dislike this district direct, there are a few things that are really good about it. So since this is an iPad program, I just wanted to show you guys some of the images so that you can walk yourself through this as well. But if you are comfortable, you should definitely, and you're on Snap, definitely try and create an account with District Direct. So you'll see that you add in your first name, your last name. Email is optional. I never use email because I always forget passwords, and I like to just
Excuse me. Your
Yep.
slides haven't changed.
Your screen sharing is paused.
It is.
Oh, sorry,
There you
resume. Your screen sharing is paused. Stop sharing. Screen share. Okay. Are you able to see these slides now?
Yep.
I can't see it,
Yeah.
it's too small.
From current slide.
Perhaps you can put it in slideshow.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. What's wrong, computer? Murphy, of course. From current slide, enter. Okay, are you able to see now?
Improved.
Oh,
Okay. So,
Not able to see.
Yes, it's very visible at this time, Martha. So it is visible.
I can't see it though.
Yes, I can see it.
Take your two fingers and open it up.
Thank you.
Use
So
your
I
two
can try-
fingers and open it up. When you use your two fingers and open it up. You make it larger.
Go ahead, Martha, because I know your time is limited. Go ahead, proceed.
So under District Direct, and I can send a follow-up email. I'm terrible at it, but Miss Teresa is gonna make sure I do it. But basically you fill in your name, your last name, and then your username can be something very simple. And so you don't have to actually use your email address. And then you have to set up a very specific password with lots of different things in it. They'll explain that to you. And you have to enter your password 2 times, and then you give them permission and you create your account. The most important thing I wanted to highlight for you guys, though, is that you have to connect your account, especially if you're already on Snap. You want to connect your account. Once you do connect your account, you're able to see a lot of amazing things. In order to connect your account, you add your name, your last name, your birthday, your gender, and then there's a couple of different ways that you can you can connect your account. You can connect it with your full social, or if you have a letter that has from the SNAP office, there's a number called a person ID number. On this screen, it says person reference number, but it's the same thing. It's not your account number, it's the second number that they list on your food stamps letter. And then once you are logged in, you'll be able to do lots and lots of different things. You'll be able to see if you're required to do verifications. You could create a new application. You could upload those verifications. You can see notices, so you can see letters that they send you in real time. You could recertify, you could do a mid-certification. You can do so many different things. And you can see account balances and things like that. But that's only if your account is connected. And you can set up an appointment with me and I can work on this with you. And then the last time people had a lot of fun talking about what foods are approved and what foods are not approved on SNAP, and the fact that it's so crazy. And I can pull up that slide from somewhere else in a second as well. But I also wanted to make sure people know about WIC, especially if you're a grandparent. So yeah, I'll pull up that food slide, but now it's really time for questions, and I'll go back to my contact information page, and I'll also share my cell phone as well.
Okay, so if you have any questions, you can put your hands up, raise them, and you need to raise your hands if you have questions. Go ahead, Diane, your hand's up first.
Yes, a lot of these government things haven't changed for senior citizens at our income,
Oh, I
even
see
though
it, I see it.
the price of living has gone up. And we don't make enough money. Even the few dollars we get is still not enough money, that we still overqualified. You know, we may be $1 or $2 overqualified.
You are precisely right. And the problem is that the way the program is designed, it's the federal government, which means Congress and the Senate, which have to come together and change those standards. And so the problem is, it's not the DC government that decides those information, it's Congress that decides that information. The good news is we have President Biden is doing a White House conference on hunger. It's the first one in 50 years. And the number one concern that we're bringing to that conference is that they need to accurately count poverty. The way they're counting it right now is absolutely unacceptable and nowhere near the reality of people's lives.
It's not.
Okay, well, thank you, Diane. The next hand is Michael Charles. Go ahead, Michael, unmute. Unmute, Michael. It's your turn to talk. Michael, are you there? All right, we'll go to the next person, Barbara. Go ahead and unmute. Ask your question. Barbara Mungo.
I hear you. Okay, I have a question. Okay, so down the bottom, okay. This is the hello?
Yes, we're hearing you, Barbara.
Okay, so she say right here, it say you can email us all for the info. It got dchunger.org. So that's the website, right? So if I'm gonna put the application, I use that website right there.
If you wanted to do the application on your own, I'll go back to that one. This is if you are actually to use the food stamps information. This is the web address that you would go to. This is how you get to the district direct page, and this is how you do your application. You could choose to do it on the phone as well, but like I said, we can do everything with you over the phone if you prefer that. And if you get stuck, you want to do it on your own and you have a couple of questions along the way, I can help you with that too. Or we could also set up the account together with you. So I'm here to support you in any way that you prefer.
Okay, then.
Is that it, Barbara?
I got it.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we don't see any hands. I guess, Charles, you're no longer. Do you still have a question, Charles?
I think I'm in pretty good shape here. And I'm glad the young lady before me, because I was looking for the online site. Just how quick is the turnaround? Because I'm sure you have a plethora of folks trying to get a hold of you, Martha. Just how quick is the turnaround to talk to somebody and to
If you can send me your information in the chat, I'll put you down on the list. And I'll
Done.
have pre-screened you by the end of this week and set up a SNAP application appointment with you.
Already done.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll make sure to copy it out so we won't leave the meeting until I get all that information.
Fantastic.
And then the other thing that's super powerful, and each of you have powerful stories, you can always raise your voice as well, both for the district government, and then if you're members of like AARP, they're a really powerful lobbying agency that represent older adults or other groups. But your stories and your thoughts really matter. So if you have things you want to recommend for things that need to be fixed or things you want to see, that would be amazing. And then we also have this local legislation we're working on, and we'd love to have your voice and your feedback on that for No Senior Hungry as well.
I'm glad you mentioned about the local one that you're doing, because you did address the questions that I had. Since this is a federal-based program and the guidelines haven't changed since 1969, my question was how to address that. And then going to the district government, to ANC, to committee members, to the mayor on that. But that local group, I would definitely want to buy into that that they're doing. And of course, good number of us with our ARP and other groups that advocate and facilitate. So using them is definitely wonderful, because as a young lady mentioned, this is 2022. 40, 50, 60 years, and the cost that their rates haven't gone up. There's no way in the world it reflected. And we're in high inflationary times now. And they're living like fat millionaires who don't care. But yes, I would be very interested in that. And I have included my information, and I'd like to get information on that too.
Okay, you're finished, Mr. Jolie?
It's wrapped up.
Thank you. Wayne, we have a question because I know the clock is ticking, and Martha,
Yeah, I know.
she has that little one to attend to, who's been
Yes,
very
this is real
patient
quick.
with us.
I just want to know, how long do they last? A year, or do you have to apply every year? Or what's it?
Great question. That is, so for seniors currently, it's a 2-year application window. But in our legislation, we're actually making it 3 years before you have to recertify. And they send you a letter to check in and do a mid-certification. That's every year currently, but that legislation would make it every one and a half years. That's one of the things we're fighting to change. And it would be a 5-page application for seniors, not the 45, 50-page application it is now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, that little one has been so patient. So let's see if we can get Martha going so she can take care of him or her. Is it a he or she, Martha?
It's a little girl.
It's
girl.
Ida.
Oh, okay.
Sound like
She's been patient. She's been very well. All right, so we have that. I think Denise, you have a question, and then that's it. You're going to be Denise.
Okay.
You're going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Denise.
Well, it was based on the question he had just asked, but I was going to ask you, in 23, we get 230 added now to our stamps, which I get $30 from food stamps. But in the $230 added on make $260. But in March, it's supposed to go away. But you saying now that they're gonna let us keep it?
So our bet is that they're gonna make sure that those emergency benefits stay at least until the end of the election. That's our benefit. That's our guess. But they keep extending. They have to keep declaring a COVID emergency, and they keep extending that COVID emergency. That's why those extra benefits are coming. And they've been so important. I wish they would just keep them permanently. Because like we mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, for every dollar you're spending, $1.73 is coming back. It's a stimulus program. This
Yeah.
program is exactly what we should be investing in. More SNAP dollars is what we should be doing because it's
That's right.
good for the economy and it's good for health. It's good for people.
Yeah, much so.
So-
Because if they take it away, I'll be only getting $30. You know.
Okay, well, I want everyone to take the time to thank Martha and the little one.
Thank you, Mother.
Thank the both of you all.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Martha.
you.
Just like a
Thank
mom,
you.
she's all, mom's
Thank you,
always
Martha.
asking.
Thank you, Miss Martha.
and
Thank you, Martha
Appreciate
and the
your
little
help.
princess.
Wanted to
Thank
thank
you,
all
Martha
of
and the little
you.
princess.
The baby's
It's Ida.
teething.
Thank you all for your patience and for your grace. Being not at home made everything a lot more challenging. So thank you all for your patience and your grace. And I look forward to connecting and advocating with all of you.
Okay. God
Thank
bless
you.
Bye, Martha.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Martha.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so here we are. Martha did take the time out, even though she had a crisis. She came in and did what she was supposed to do. At this point, I think, Mary, you had a question for me?
Yes, I would like to know how many credit I have.
All right, let me go there now. Mary Harold. So Mary, you got 3, 4, let's see. Yep, you've got 4 so far.
I have 4.
Yes.
Now, I was on last Friday, but I wasn't able to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in urgent care yesterday, so I couldn't make it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. But you're feeling much better.
Yes, I was there for 18 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Sorry to hear that. Okay, Meryl, your hand is up. Meryl, go ahead. Unmute and speak.
I just want to know how many classes do I have?
Meryl, you have 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
What?
That's what I'm showing. Hold on, let me see. No, 4. 4.
Oh.
4. Mm-hmm.
So I'm married. So you said I have 4?
4 classes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Sheila. Sheila, your hand is up. Go ahead, Sheila. Sheila, your hand is up. Go ahead. Sheila, unmute and speak. You need to unmute. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay. How many classes do I have so far? I think I have 4 or 3. This Sheila. It's my fault.
So Sheila, I'm seeing 2. 2.
2? No. Last week it was 3. I thought it was 4 today.
Today is not a mandatory day. It's not.
Oh, today is not mandatory.
So
what day is the mandatory?
Okay. You finished, Diane?
Wait a minute. Which days are mandatory?
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays.
Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are mandatory. So you say I have 2?
Yes.
Wow, I got 4 more to go. Okay.
Hello to
No.
this is
Diane,
this
go ahead. It's your
this
turn,
Diane.
Go
This
ahead, Diane.
Diane. I was wondering, could you get somebody to talk about the COVID? Because I just had my 4th shot and it really put me under.
Okay, so we need a health.
Hello?
Yes.
Thank you. She said I have 4 classes.
All right, so let me look into that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you. Here.
Okay.
That No, not today. I told her I was there Friday.
The next person is Michael. Go ahead, Michael.
So
Go ahead, Michael.
Yes. Thank you for all the wonderful programs that you've been having, and this is a very interesting one about the food snack. But have you had one on the, like the rental office? You trying to get in the rent, the low income stuff?
You mean housing?
Yes, housing.
Yeah, I spoke with DACL and they said they don't cover housing. I did one several months ago, about 4 months ago. I will probably be a while before I do another, but that's where I actually go and do the research and find out who has rentals. But it'll be a few months before I even get to that. But DACL say they don't do housing.
Well, thank you for that information. I was talking about, like, if I'm already in a housing rental area, and every time I apply, I've been here for over 8 years. Every time I apply, or over 10 years, every time I apply, I'm not qualified, but I'm supposed to be the next on the list or something.
So you are on a wait list.
But I'm not even sure if I'm on a wait list, because management changed hands so much, because they so messed up that I don't even know if I'm on a waiting list.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get somebody. But when I spoke with DACL about housing, they said they're that's not their department.
Okay, well, if you can see, I would appreciate that, because
I'll put housing on my list.
Thank you very much, and thank you for all the information. Okay.
All right, Meryl, go ahead. Meryl, you have a question, Meryl?
Couldn't you do a formal invitation for a housing expert of the District of Columbia?
A what?
District of Columbia.
What about the district? Housing? No, they don't. They don't do housing. DACL says they don't do housing.
Oh, it have to be under their program, or?
Well, no, it would have to be where I have to do the research. And like I said, I did one several months ago. I can do one again, but I'm not promising when. Because it takes time to research it and pull all the information together. So, but I'll work on it and I'll put it on my list.
Oh, okay. And another thing, one more. How many classes you that I had?
Okay, let's look and see. Hold on. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, Meryl. You have 4 classes in.
I was there Monday, but
So you were there Monday?
Yeah, I was.
Were you in as iPad, or were you in as with your name? Because there were several iPad names.
I was in with my name.
All right, so I've just documented that. Okay, so now you have 5.
Okay.
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 All right, Meryl. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Okay. The next person is iPad. I don't know your name.
I'm Anita Judd.
Anita Judge. Hi, Anita.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Okay. What can I do for you, Anita?
The question is, are there any program for discounts for the internet service?
Yeah, there are programs in place for that. I'll put it on my list, but I can't promise a date because I usually have to do research on things that I don't have at my fingertips. So it may take a little while. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay, I'll put that on my list. So you want internet app. All right.
Yes.
All right. And if you come on tomorrow, please come early so I can show you how to change your name. Okay?
Sure.
Please come early. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And my last question is coming from Barbara. Go ahead, Barbara. And then we're going to wrap it up. Barbara, you have a question?
Oh, the young man who had the about where he live at. Well, I know if he can call AARP, go unto the to the landlord tenant, and they can help him because they had helped me like that before.
Did you hear that, Michael? That, I guess it's to you. Call AARP.
It's on the landlord and tenant, something like that. But I can get the number and ARP, and they definitely will talk to the landlord now.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Barbara. Very thoughtful of you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope you all got some good information on food stamps today. Tomorrow, we're now going on to module 5. The first part of module 5 will be on the library apps. And then after the library apps, then I will come on and do some technical parts, okay? So that's tomorrow at 1. If you struggling, if you have issues, you have questions, please sign in before 1 so I can help you with those questions, okay?
Okay.
If you're a newcomer and you're not sure about the program, come in before 1. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. I've got, Mary, you have a last question because I was about to wrap up.
I would just like to say to you that my daughter says she took her hat off to you. You does a very good job. You got good patience.
Yes, she does.
Thank you very much. Thank you. God
She's
bless
the
you.
best.
Okay, so tomorrow I look forward to seeing all of you, and we'll see you. Have a wonderful afternoon. God
Yes.
bless you all.
Okay, you too.
Thank you,
All right.
Clarissa.
And God
Take care.
bless.
You feel better, Jennifer.
Okay.
Feel better.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Teresa,
Yes,
I'm
you
over
can.
here with Mr. Jolly.
No, she not.
Julie.
I'm at the center. I didn't even know it.
Oh, you're at the center. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.